What is up, everybody? Dak here, and today I have some materials in front of me for the horn build I'm about to start. Might be a bit of glare right now, I apologise for that, but this is facing west and it's the afternoon. So yeah, right in front of me I have a 1.2 by 2.4 metre sheet of plywood. It's a bit hard to get the scale, but you can kind of see based off that it's 4 feet by 8 feet. And this is just one of two sheets that I've got. Its thickness is it's a bit less than 3/4 inch. Focus. But it's quoted as being 17 mil, which it is about 17 mil. This thing would focus. Come on. There we go. And yeah, this is what I'm going to be building the majority of the box out of. I'm going to be doing the sides, the horn itself, as in the inner kind of cone thing. Other than that, I might be using some MDF for it, and other things I might be making out of fiberglass. But the two curves at the back of the horn, I'll be using this right here. This is 6-inch PVC pipe, and if you have a look at the diagram, both of the curves at the back have a radius of 7.5 centimeters, and this has a radius of 7.5 centimeters. So this will be getting cut straight down the middle and flipped around. One side will be here with the air coming forward, and then the other side will be here with the air coming forward. Of course, it won't be a meter long. I'll be cutting it down to 60 centimeters, but I'll do that later. I originally bought this as port material. I was going to flare it, except unfortunately it's a bit too thick for the molds I've got. It seems this PVC pipe is based off the outer diameter, so it fits into the same fittings, which means the thinner walled stuff is wider in the middle and is slightly thicker than I'm used to. So yeah, it won't work with the molds I've got to flare it. And also then we've got this big bit of PVC pipe here. This is 1 foot wide, as you can see with the ruler on top, and I think it's about 1.3 meters long, which is just a tad over 4 feet. And if it focuses, you can see it's a bit messy. I think it is retired sewer pipe, but it's pretty clean. And this will be I'll be using a foot of this. If I can get back enough, I can't zoom out any further on the iPad. And that is going to be the rear chamber for the horn. So the speaker is going to be mounting possibly inverted, so it gets a bit better cooling. But probably it's going to be mounted standard right here. And I'll make up some wood ring around it for it to screw into. So yeah, that's the materials. As you can see possibly in there, that right there is the other sheet of plywood. So I have in total about 5.8 square meters of plywood. A lot of it's going to be unusable, unfortunately. Since I'm making this 60 centimeters, it would divide nicely up into 4 segments on this, except you've got to factor in the thickness of the cuts, and also the inside dimensions of the box are 60 centimeters, which means the bit that's going on top, the top of the box and the bottom of the box, are both going to be 63.4 centimeters, and then the two sides are going to be 60 centimeters, but also they're only going to be a meter long, which means the last 20 centimeters of this plywood is going to be almost, actually it shouldn't be unusable. Birds. It should be usable for some of the chambers inside. For example, underneath in the diagram, underneath where the rear chamber is, I should be able to use some of it. Also might use some of this pipe for the compression chamber, as it is quite good and thick. It should handle any pressure out of any size of sub. Its thickness is about 6 mil, so about 1/4 inch, and yeah, that'll handle any sub no problem, especially with its geometry. So yeah, these are the materials I'm going to be using. I'm also going to be using Sika Tech Grip glue. That stuff is insanely strong. It stays on my hands for usually about 4 days after I use it. As you can see, they're clean right now because I haven't started building, but yeah, for about the next month after I'm finished this box, I'm going to have glue on my hands. So also, I'm not sure exactly what kind of construction method I'm going to do. I might use a bit of inch by inch dressed in the corners and screw into it just to make it a bit stronger. But if I glue it together, I'm not going to be able to take it apart, so there's not a ton of point in using screws other than anchoring things down for the gluing. But yeah, I'll see. Anyway, I'm going to start work by cutting out the back of the box, which is 60 by 60 centimeters, and the bottom. I feel like that's a good place to start. And the bottom's going to be 1 meter, or a bit over 1 meter, 1.017 meters by the 63.5 centimeters. Alright, I'll go and do a time lapse of that now. Alright, and that concludes today's work. I will do a bit more. I think right now I'll cut that down to 1 foot. But other than that, I've cut out 2 sheets of wood and prepared them, sanded them, so now all the edges are straight. And I've also cut the two what do you call it, half pipes. I suppose they are half pipes, which will be going at the rear of the box. If you go back to the first video, you can see the diagram of it. Those are the 2 ones that are right at the back, not the 2 that are at the front. I might need to use 200mm PVC for those or something. Other than that, I think I will just cut this out now, as it's not too difficult, and I have the stainless steel slash special bit on the jigsaw, so this shouldn't be too hard to do. I'll just do a similar thing, which is hold the pipe at a certain distance, hold the pencil, and then walk it around, and then I should just be able to twist it around with the jigsaw, and that shouldn't take too long to do. I won't bother with the hacksaw with this one, as it's a bit thicker, and even that one was pretty hard to cut precisely. Like, to put power behind it and to be precise was a bit difficult, but I'm pretty used to doing precision freehand cuts with a jigsaw, so that shouldn't be too hard. Other than that, I think that's the end of the video, so thank you for watching. Stay tuned for part 2, which if I edit it tonight, tonight being the 2nd of July, then it should be coming up shortly. I'll be working again tomorrow. I might do some experimenting tomorrow. I need to work out how I can bend the plywood to form the kind of parabolic shape wedge that goes in the middle of it. If I can't bend it, then I might actually use the router to cut ribs, and then I'll stack them up, and then I'll probably do something nice. I'll probably stain it so you can see all the layers of plywood in it, something like that that'll look good. But that'll use a lot more wood, and I might have to get a 3rd sheet, and I'd rather keep it as material efficient as possible. If I had it my way, I would have got a CNC router and just bought 5 sheets of inch thick MDF, and then I would have cut out the layers and stacked them up and then put a waterproof coating over it. But that's wasteful, and I don't have a CNC router, so that'd be good coming up in the future. Give me a few years. Anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode. Subscribe. More horn building.